Thanks for joining our special live coverage of the policy discussion with citizens. We are waiting for the 22nd such meeting to begin. This time, talks will take place in Gangwon State. The theme will be Healthy, Happy Senior Living. While we wait for President Yoon Suk-yeol's opening remarks to begin, let's look over some of the sessions that took place in the past few weeks. President Yoon previously pledged to turn Gangwon-do province into a global cluster for innovation. Now, Gangwon would achieve its so-called 333 project to become a data capital in line with Yoon's electoral promise, aiming for 30,000 jobs, 3,000 companies, and 300% sales growth in digital industries. Earlier on Tuesday, President Yoon pledged to make a new miracle on the Han River by fostering affordable quality life through the capital city here. His plan includes changes to the nation's real estate market to tackle rising rent and the complex methods of redevelopment. Now, most notably, Yoon said he will abolish a real estate policy whereby the government gradually raises its declared property values, which he says has meant higher punitive taxing on homeowners, leading to rising rent costs. Over in Daegu City, the city will see a new airport possibly earlier than 2030 as the government has pledged to speed up the construction. On top of that, plans to expand a new express railway lines were unveiled to increase connectivity across the city. And with the emergence of new advanced industries such as robotics and future mobility, hopes are high Daegu City will take the lead in those new fields. And to make that happen, the Korean government is believed to be investing $150 million into robot testing. Also, for the first time in 2 decades, the government has decided to lift greenbelt zones or land protected from development in the regions outside the capital area, that is to boost regional economy. We head over to Ulsan City. It's a city well known for research and development. Their president vowed full support for young scientists and researchers so that they can focus on their studies and research without worrying too much about their tuition or living expenses. Now, that means at least 800,000 Korean won, or about $600 per month, will be made available for master's students, and $820 for people doing their PhDs. Now, down in the port city in Busan, President Yoon Suk-yeol there pledged to turn the city into a global business hub. That's in line with the country's ambitions to narrow regional gaps and also spur development across areas outside the capital. The government also vowed to continue to ease parental concerns over childcare. Now, after-school childcare services known as Nilbom School will be expanded to all elementary schools by the second semester this year. Also decided during past discussions was the streamlining of administrative services by making hundreds of services fully digital over the next 3 years. And on housing, the Yoon administration is going to scrap regulations that hinder redevelopment and reconstruction. On top of that, some bold reforms for stock market taxes are on the way to correct the perceived undervaluation of South Korean shares and improve the financial situation of ordinary people. We are still waiting for the 22nd round of policy discussion with citizens, and today the talks are taking place in Gangwon State under the theme of Healthy and Happy Senior Living. Now, to remind you, South Korean presidents in the past typically started a new year by receiving briefings from each ministry on their plans for the coming year. The new format is part of the government's efforts to implement President Yoon's vision for an action-oriented, problem-solving government, not a government that just carries out reviews. Now, after holding around 10 discussions in the capital region here, President Yoon Suk-yeol has been traveling around the country to hold more talks with citizens on livelihood issues. There have been 21 rounds of policy discussions so far since the beginning of the year with citizens. And whilst we are still waiting for President Yoon Suk-yeol to deliver his opening remarks, as he has done in the past 21 rounds of policy discussions, let's look over some of the sessions that took place in the past few weeks. Previously in Gangwon Province, President Yoon pledged to turn Gangwon the province into a global cluster for innovation. Now that means Gangwon would achieve its so-called 333 project to become a data capital in line with Yoon's electoral promise. That will aim for 30,000 jobs, 3,000 companies, and 300% sales growth in digital industries. Now, this is the third round of policy discussion with citizens just this week. Actually, second. Earlier on Tuesday, President Yoon Suk-yeol pledged a new miracle on the Han River here in Seoul by fostering affordable quality life throughout the capital city. Now, that means his plans include changes to the nation's real estate market to really tackle rising rent and the complex methods of redevelopment. Now, if I have to point out, the most notably, President Yoon said he will abolish a real estate policy whereby the government gradually raises its declared property values, which he says has meant higher punitive taxing on homeowners, leading to rising rent costs. Now, also for the first time in 20 years, the Yoon government has decided to lift greenbelt zones, that is, land protected from development in the regions outside the metropolitan area to foster regional economy. And also over in Daegu City, there the Yoon Suk-yeol administration said the city will possibly see a new airport earlier than 2030, the original plan, because the government has pledged to really speed up the construction there. On top of that, plans to expand a new express rail line were unveiled to increase connectivity across the entire Daegu City. And with the emergence of new advanced industries such as robotics and future mobility, the Yoon government is hopeful that Daegu City will take the lead in those new emerging fields. To make that happen as soon as possible, the Korean government is investing $150 million into robot testing. Now, in addition to Daegu and Busan cities, over in Ulsan, there President Yoon vowed full support for young scientists and researchers, as the city is well known for research and development. There, the government pledged to give at least 800,000 Korean won, or that's around $600 for students doing their master's students. That amount of money will be given to those master's students every month. And for people doing their PhDs, $820 will be given every month. Now, over in Busan City, President Yoon pledged to turn the city into a global business hub. That's in line with the country's ambitions and plans to really narrow the regional gaps and foster development across areas outside the capital. Now, we can see all these cities are being focused on really developing their development other than the capital area. Now, the government has also decided to look after more on the parental concerns over childcare to really tackle the notoriously low birth rate here in South Korea. Now, the Nilbom School has been introduced. That's the after-school childcare services here in South Korea. That will be expanded to all elementary schools by the second semester, so that parents who are working out on their fields do not have to worry about looking after their children as much. Also, decided during the past 21 rounds of policy discussions so far was the streamlining of administrative services by making hundreds of services fully digital over the next 3 years. And also, the Yoon administration has been pouring much efforts to tackle and scrap regulations that hinder redevelopment, that have been hindering redevelopment and reconstruction here in the country. And on top of housing issues, some bold reforms for stock market taxes will be on the way. That is to correct the perceived undervaluation of South Korean shares and also to improve the financial situation of the ordinary people here in South Korea. We are still waiting for President Yoon Suk-yeol to enter the room to deliver his opening remarks ahead of the 22nd round of policy discussions with citizens, which is taking place in Gangwon State today under the theme of healthy and happy senior living. Now, the policy discussion with citizens has been newly introduced in the year of 2024 because South Korean presidents in the past, typically they started a new year by receiving briefings from each ministry on their plans for the coming year. But the new format invites citizens, experts in each regions and cities to discuss and explore ways to really improve their livelihood issues from housing, parental care, child care, and as well as the stock market taxes. Now, we are seeing the discussions taking place in Gangwon State today. Now, previously, President Yoon pledged to turn Gangwon-do province into a global cluster for innovation. What the government is really aiming to make happen is the 333 project in Gangwon to become a data capital in line with President Yoon's electoral promise. That is aiming for 30,000 jobs, 3,000 companies, and 300% sales growth in digital industries. Earlier on Tuesday, the 21st policy discussions with citizens took place where the Yoon administration vowed a new miracle on the Han River here in Seoul by fostering affordable quality life throughout the capital city. Now, that is making changes to the nation's real estate market to tackle notoriously rising rent and the complex methods of redevelopment. Now, most notably, President Yoon Suk-yeol said he will abolish a real estate policy where the government gradually raises its declared property values, which he says has meant higher and punitive taxing on homeowners, which has led to rising rent costs here in South Korea, especially here in the capital city. Now, if we look over some of the past discussions since the beginning of January, what's notable is that for the first time in 20 years, the so-called greenbelt zones, that's the land protected from redevelopment, that greenbelt zones will be lifted in the regions outside the capital area to boost regional economy. Now, over in Busan City, that's a port and hub city here in South Korea, President Yoon pledged to turn that city into a global business hub to narrow regional gaps and spur development, not just here in the capital area. And much of the focus also has been centered around the providing people, in fact, parents, the most needed childcare, especially when they're working parents. After-school childcare services called Nulbom School has been introduced, and that will be, in fact, expanded to all elementary schools by the second semester of 2024 to ease the burden on those parents. Now, so far, the South Korean government has been traveling almost every corner of the country to really meet with citizens and explore ways to improve people's livelihoods. Now, it looks like President Yoon has arrived and he will soon deliver his opening remarks. We'll come back right afterwards.
지금부터
We are
국민의례를
going to pledge
거행하겠습니다.
allegiance to
모두
the
국기를
nation.
향해
Please
주시기
face the
바랍니다.
flag.
일동 국기에 대하여
Salute
경례.
to the flag.
바로
At ease,
자리에 앉아 주십시오.
please be seated.
지금부터
We would like to
건강하고
begin
행복한 노후를
the
주제로
healthy
한
and happy
22번째
senior years is the theme of today's gathering, and this is the livelihood policy discussion with the people. We are going to invite the President for his opening remarks.
여러분 반갑습니다.
Hello everyone.
오늘은 대한민국
Today,
대표 건강도시
we are here at Wonju, which is the leading healthcare city of the Republic of Korea, and we are going to talk about healthy and happy later years, which is the 22nd round of such discussion sessions. As I see you today, I could reflect on the great history of the Republic of Korea. 7 decades ago, just after the end of the Korean War, U.S. General MacArthur said, looking at the ashes of war, unless a miracle happens, it will take 100 years for this country to rebuild. And that miracle materialized, and that was thanks to the elderly people of the Republic of Korea. In 1996, just 40 years after the war ended the war, we have joined the OECD, and in 2010, we became the 24th country to give aid to other countries, and we became the first in the world to be a giver from a receiver. And now the GDP per capita goes over $30,000 US, and we are at the 12th in terms of the size of economy. There are only 5 more countries around the world who export more than us, and we have secondary batteries, automobiles, and chips. And all these items made in Korea are recognized as the best in the world. Also, we are well known for the K-pop and K-culture, and we're a cultural powerhouse. Other than the word miracle, I cannot find any words that befits the great history of Korea. Such great history was achieved by you, the elderly. The seniors of Korea, you have worked so hard and sweat so much for the industrialization of Korea. We may starve, but we have to educate our children, and with that spirit, the human resources of Korea became a world-class human resources, and it is an important responsibility of the government to take good care of the elderly. However, our society had fallen short to respect properly the
난방도
citizens.
잘 되지 않는
Last year,
열악한
winter,
시설에
I
계시는 어르신들 모습에
paid a visit to a
마음이
senior
많이
citizen
아팠습니다.
center that was unregistered, and I could see that they did not even have proper heating, which was really heartbreaking. And I also had a chance to meet a senior citizen who was living alone.
우리나라는 세계 어느
So I could
나라보다도
feel that we have a
빠르게
long way to go.
고령 사회로 진입하고 있습니다.
Korea is the fastest country in the world approaching an aging
65세
society,
인구가
and
981만
elderly
명에
that
달하고
is more that
2030년에는
of more than 65 years of
증가해서
age
전체
would
인구의
approach the largest portion around the world in June, and we are a super aging society with many statistics.
2030년에는 150만
And
명으로
actually,
크게 늘어날
we
것입니다.
have 970,000, which would go up by more than 1 million of seniors over 85 years of age. And therefore, we need comprehensive measures. First of all, we would have to look after the seniors' meals, laundry, and care, like daily living services, and we're going to expand the housing supply. At the moment, in the high-end silver towns, such good quality services are provided. However, this is not something that is provided to many senior citizens. So with appropriate cost, affordable cost, we would have to provide, and we are going to provide the supply of senior citizens housing. First of all, we are going to supply silver towns and public rental housings for vulnerable seniors, and this will be increased. And we are going to reintroduce a policy for senior citizen housings, and also deregulation will happen so that there could be many more construction companies that would come into this industry of senior housings. And also for vulnerable seniors, we're going to provide public rental housings. At the moment, it is being built 1,000 units per annum, but this will go up to 3,000 units per year. And together with this, the middle-class private rentals or REITs, which are new to the market, will be introduced as senior-friendly housing. First of all, we are going to introduce Silver Stay, which is a private rental housing system for middle-class elderly households. Such Silver Stay is a house equipped with special facilities for the elderly, such as motion detectors and removal of stair gaps, and provide elderly services such as medical and nursing care. In conjunction with related ministries, we are going to come up with the operating method. And also, the LH land for the healthcare purposes, we are going to lend this to the private sector and promote healthcare REITs. This will satisfy both public interest and profitability. And we're going to turn more than 55% of the total number of units into senior welfare facilities. And we're going to sell 30% or less as officetels. At the moment, Hwasong and Dongtan second zone, this is the place where we have this pilot project of healthcare REITs, and I'm going to see for it myself and to see the progress of this project. And also, we are going to support comprehensive support, including tax, financial, and so on. And we are not going to spare any support in terms of helping the senior citizens' health care. And in one survey tells that more than 69% of the senior citizens, even if they have difficulties in moving, they would like to stay at home rather than hospitals. So
의사, 간호사가 집으로 방문하는
we will
재택
promote
의료를
home medical care
활성화하겠습니다.
where doctors and nurses visit
이를
people
위해
at their
장기
homes.
요양
And to this
재택
end,
의료 센터를 현재
the long-term
95개소에서
nursing
전국에
domiciliary medical centers that are 95 of numbers at the moment will be expanded to 250 nationwide. And we are going to reduce the out-of-pocket cost of visiting doctors for seriously ill from the current 38,000 won by half. And also, the long-term care service would be improved, and also the costs will be supported so that they need not go to the facilities but could receive care at home. And also by grouping different units, we are going to promote a new type of nursing care which is called dubbed unit care. Unit care is utilizing public areas and one or private or two-person room, and they are combined together to provide the independence as well as coexistence of the elderly people. And we're also going to look at the quality, improving the quality of life of these people. And one of my electoral promises was to support and subsidize the nursing cost. And from April this year, we are going to implement a pilot project to support nursing care costs for seniors hospitalized. And also, as we have more aging population, we have more dementia patients. So we are going to introduce dementia care doctor system for senile dementia patients and for their families. And this will be in a variety of methods. And also, for citizen centers, senior citizen centers, we are going to provide a variety of services. At the moment, about 30% of senior citizens, they need nutritional care. So through these senior centers, the government will help it to this end. We are going to expand these centers where people can eat together, and we're going to provide more frequent meals and provide the canteen for the seniors will be expanded. And also, we're going to introduce a meal delivery service for seniors with physical disabilities. And also, one of the imminent problems that are facing the senior citizens is the digital divide. So we would like to look into the senior service centers in terms of teaching this elderly to use digital devices. So at the senior centers, you will be provided with training in terms of using different kinds of digital devices, including ATM and smartphones and so on. And also, kiosk and apps will be developed and provided for the convenience of your use. And this will also, we're going to also promote the legislation to this end. And also, we are going to look after the unregistered senior centers that are around the country. And last year, we took the full-fledged survey on these unregistered senior centers, and therefore we plan to introduce this quasi-center system to legalize and pay for such unregistered centers. And also, we are going to support your sports activities. Senior-friendly national sports centers will be additionally built. 5 of them will be additionally built this year. And also, we would have a consultation center and also a trainer that will be linked with the senior centers and these senior
파크 골프장을
living
더욱 확충하고
health
맞춤형 운동 프로그램도
sports centers.
보급하겠습니다.
And also we plan to expand park golf courses and provide customized exercise programs.
건강한 노후를 보낼
And
수
also
있는
jobs
가장
are
중요한 복지 정책입니다.
jobs is the most important
정부는
welfare
올해 노인 일자리를
policy for the
103만
elderly.
명으로
At the
역대
moment, the
최대로
government had
5년
brought
이상
up the
동결되었던
number of jobs to the
보수
senior to more than 1 million
이상
and this year, and we have also increased more than 7% of the subsidies.
소득을
And
얻으실 수 있도록
through
할
such
것입니다.
work,
65세 이상
the
인구
senior
가운데
people will be able
10%
to
이상이 일자리에
experience
참여하실 수
their
있도록 지원을 확대하겠습니다.
their labor
이러한
being
노력들과
paid,
함께
and
대한민국 대표
this
도시
will be supported
대표
by the
건강 도시
government.
원주의 도시
With
경쟁력을
this,
높이는 데
원주
힘을 쏟겠습니다.
will be supported by the
원주는
government to
지난
advance
20년 동안
its
많은 노력을 기울여
competitiveness.
국내 유일의
원주
자생적인
with its
의료기기 혁신
endeavors has
클러스터를
created the
조성했습니다.
country's only homegrown
원주
medical
의료기기
device
혁신
innovation
클러스터가
center.
의료기기
Wonju's
산업의
innovation
글로벌
cluster,
진출을 이끌고
for it
AI,
to
빅데이터,
play a pivotal
디지털
role
기술을 활용한
in the development of
디지털
digital healthcare
헬스케어
industry
산업
using
발전에
AI, big
중추
data, and
역할을
digital
할수
technology,
있도록
the
정부가
government
적극 지원할
will
것입니다.
actively support.
원주가 보유한 세계 최고
And
수준의
the world-class
보건 의료 데이터를 기반으로
healthcare
올해 지정된
data that
강원
Wonju
보건 의료
possesses,
데이터 글로벌
we are
혁신
going
특구와
to
연계해서
link this with
원주를
Healthcare Data Global
첨단
Innovation
보건
Zone
의료
in
산업의
Gangwon and
거점으로
will build
대폭 지원하겠습니다.
and develop the healthcare industry in Wonju.
원주가 기회 발전 특구로
Wonju,
지정되면
when this is designated as a special zone, the small and equipment companies in Wonju and Gangwon, they can relocate, more companies can relocate to Wonju. And by attracting anchor companies, semiconductors and other basic industries will take a strong foothold in Wonju. And for the stabilization of Opportunity Special Zone, we are going to provide taxation support, and many different methods will be mobilized. And for such industries to take off, we need education that supports it, especially in the cutting-edge industries. For Wonju to become a future innovation city, we are going to significantly improve the innovation of the educational system. We are going to designate Wonju High School as an autonomous public high school, and specialized high schools of Wonju will be designated as agreement-type special high schools. This will bring great improvements in Wonju's educational environment.
교육 발전 특구로 지정했습니다.
Wonju was designated as special educational zone and to nurture the human talents. For the future, we are going to spare no efforts and support in this regard, and also carry out AI genius programs so that we can educate and train the young from very young age. The capable youths who from Wonju can be educated in Wonju and also will contribute to Wonju's development. We are also going to significantly expand Wonju's transportation network so that Wonju can grow even further. First of all, departing from Incheon International Airport, Gwangmyeong, Gangnam, Suseok, and Gwangju of Gyeonggi-do will be connected by GTX-D, and we're going to connect this D line to Wonju.
제 임기 내
During my term, the legislation would be completed so that the construction can begin. And also, the Yeoju-Wonju double-track railway, which began the construction in January this year, This will be carried out without any interruption to improve the transportation conditions for the citizens. Myself and the government would like to take care of our elderly people and make sure that they are happy, and we are going to do our utmost to make Wonju as a key city in the central region. We have many senior citizens who are here today, their families and experts. And also, a lot of Wonju citizens are joining today. We're going to talk about the policies for the seniors and the development of Wonju. I look forward to your valuable opinions. We are going to listen carefully to your opinions, and we're going to reflect it to the policies. Thank you.
That was our live coverage of President Yoon Suk-yeol's opening remarks ahead of the country's 22nd policy discussion with citizens under the theme of healthy, happy senior living. We'll bring you more details on the discussion in our upcoming newscast at noon Korea time. Thanks for watching.